If you could only recommend one presidential bio for every American to read, which one would it be?
It's a great question. I just finished A Lincoln by Ron White, and that goes through Lincoln's life. So there's a couple of things that are great about it. So one, it's really readable, which is it's kind of hard for a big presidential biography. As much as I love Ron Chernow and his huge biographies of Washington and Grant, they're just a little harder to get through.
Yeah.
So this one, Ron White goes through Lincoln's life, um, and really navigable chunks of text, which is great, and very much a narrative storytelling style, which is great. And what's great about Lincoln's, I very much believe him to be our greatest president because he not only had the leadership skills, but he was just like a nice human. He
Mm.
retained his humanity in the midst of the Civil War. So he was amazingly humble for a president. Could make fun of himself. People accused him of being two faced, and he would say back, "Well, if I had two faces, why would I pick this one?" He was very very self aware. And whereas there are other presidents you can see just taking that sort of comment so personally and retorting back with an attack, right, instead of just making fun of themselves. So he was humble. Um, he was someone who grew up in extreme poverty, lost his mother, his sister, his first girlfriend, really lost them all to disease, and came through the other side and got America through the Civil War, and obviously was uh, taken away from the American people far too soon. But I think is by far our most inspiring president. And there are pieces of his life that I think anyone can take lessons from, whether it's learning how to lead when you're out of your depth, which he did in the Civil War. He was not a military guy, but he immersed himself in the literature and checked out hordes of books from the Library of Congress to study up, to his team of rivals, his ability to see that the people had skills that he didn't have,
Mm.
and he brought them in and even encouraged disagreement, even though he ultimately made all the decisions himself. He wanted to hear all the other viewpoints. So if I had to pick one book, it would definitely be A Lincoln by Ron White.